Hello and welcome to another Raggy's Beers, Wines and Spirits review. Although, not a review. Tonight I'm going to be barrelling up the Wilko limited edition beer kit. So it's their 3 kilogram beer kit, 19 quid I got it for. Might be 21 quid again now. And it works out, it looks like that when it's done. Look at that. Spiced, limited edition artisan brewing winter ale beer kit. Makes 32 pints of traditional bitter enhanced by cinnamon and spice flavours for a well balanced warming brew in just 21 days. So their definition of 21 days is a week in the barrel and then 2 weeks in your shed, or in a bottle rather. A week in the bucket and then 2 weeks in there. I've given it 11 days in the bucket because of this time of the year, you know, make sure it ferments, gets all the way. So let me show you. Just lift the lid off. So it's ready now. Oh, we have light. So there we go, that's what it looks like. A little bit of sediment on the top still, but I'm not worried about that. It's ready. So next process is I'm going to siphon it into a barrel. You could do it straight into bottles. I haven't got one of them lovely barrel buckets with the taps on. I wish I had actually, because they look fantastic. Saves a lot of messing about. I mean, you could actually bottle it straight in, but hey, you know, I'm not buying one just for the sake of buying one. So I've got me bent thing. Everything's been sterilised because obviously cleanliness is godliness when it comes to beer. This is only a 32 pint kit, so let me just oh, did I not do it enough? There we go. So probably take about 10 minutes for it to go down. And what I'm going to do, what I've learnt in my own brewing is my hydrometer broke, so I don't bother with hydrometers. I'll wait till once it stops bubbling, that's good enough for me. If it stops bubbling for a couple of days, that's good enough. I'll always give it a little bit longer than I need to give it. And it's flowing away lovely now. And another thing I've learnt, it tells you to put sugar into each bottle. You can do it that way. Me, I'm going to put the amount of sugar I need, which is a teaspoon per litre, half a teaspoon per pint, teaspoon a litre. So 1 teaspoon per litre. And I'm going to put it into a jug, and then I'm going to get hot water, put it into a jug, hot water, swirl it around, get all this sugar dissolved, chuck that into the barrel, and then when I bottle it, it'll already be ready. You know, the sugar will have time to move around and, you know, be distributed fairly, and then it's just a case of bottling it, which I'll probably do tomorrow night because it's Valentine's night tonight, and I won't be popular if I spend all night in the kitchen. So going down nicely. At the 4-day junction, I added the extra flavour in. This is only a 32 pint kit, not a 40 pint kit, so 19 quid for 32 pints. You don't have to add sugar. I can't remember if I added sugar or not. I might have added a bit of sugar. It makes a 4.8% winter warming beer. And a friend of mine at work who's already had this, who promised me a bottle, never did because he drank it all. But, and I can't fault him. He said it was delicious. So, you know, really waiting for this. I do love winter warmers. I do love anything with cinnamon in. So definitely, you know, one on the horizon. So already we're down to 12 litres. So it takes a bit of time, you know this, but you can't rush it. You know, it's just one of those things. If you have got one of them fermentation buckets with the tap already in, this is where you save time. You could do this way straight into bottles, but let me tell you, it's messy. Better to go into a barrel, a little bit more faffing about, but at the end of the day, you know, it's easier that way. And this is how I do wines, beers, and even if I'm distilling, doing a wash, a vodka wash, same way each time. And try not to, you know, get too many outside interferences, as it were. So, second of the Wilko's beer kits are their new artisan range. The core range is actually a decent range, to be fair. You know, you're only paying £12, so you get what you're given from a £12 kit, you know. It's okay, but it ain't no craft beer, you know. The more expensive artisan range, there's 4 or 5 in that range, and they're all very interesting. Not the highest alcohol content, you know, that's the only downer, I think. I think they ought to have gone for something with a bit more alcohol. But that's me all over. Always want more alcohol. I certainly prefer a stronger beer over a weaker beer. I don't want to be drinking something that's 3%. You know, I don't see the point in it. Might as well be drinking coffee. So already now, down to 9 litres. And the good thing about doing it this way also is some sediment's going to go through. You know, that's a given, you know. But once I get it down to the last bit, I'll watch it go in, and I'm not worried if a bit of sediment goes through, because I'm going to bottle it anyway. And then I've already boiled the kettle, which I'll boil again. Get my trusty jug down, and in a minute I'm going to measure out the sugars, you know. It is a slow process, but one thing I will say, I've lost my little hooks that you hook over the side of your bucket, and I need to get a new hook, a new pipe as well, because the pipe's bent, and that makes life easier, because you can put it on, leave it, and then only when it gets down to the last couple of litres do you have to, you know, tip the bucket just to get the last bits that's not sedimenty. For my next brew, I'm looking at doing a Simply ginger beer, which is a very good ginger beer, probably the best ginger beer kit on the market. Cooper's ginger beer, I don't know what they do with their yeast, but I've done 4 kits of theirs. Every single time their yeast has not fermented. Follow the instructions, not fermented at all. So, my phone's not going to go off now. So I've had to use extra yeast to get it to brew, and it always ends up cloudy. Yet Simply ginger beer, it's about £15-16 a kit, expensive for a Simply beer, a Simply beer kit, but never had a problem. I brewed it short once to half the amount, and it made a quality strong ginger beer, and that's something I'm going to do. I like using beer kits because beer kits to me are easy, but then adding to the beer kits, you know, just to enhance flavours and that. So what I might do is I'm going to double ferment it, but I'm also going to get some root ginger, boil it in the pan, chop it up, boil it in the pan, and then add it to the brew, just to get even more heat out of it. Right, we're coming down to 4 litres now, so we're coming down to the interesting part. So, like most other home brewers do, you're going to tip the bucket now. As you can see the sedimenty stuff. All I want's the clearish stuff. Sorry for being upside down, but it's the only down of it not having somebody else to hold the camera. daggone 8-year-old who would hold the camera, but he starts talking to you, and you know, it's not what's needed. So yeah, I'm definitely going to get some sediment in this, which is a bit of a downer, but and it's going down nicely. Another minute or so, this part of the process will be over, and then sugar, and then it's ready for tomorrow night for bottling, you know. And then according to Wilko's instructions, it's got to sit 2 weeks in the shed, in the warm for a couple of days, and then give it 14 days before. I don't think there's a need for that really. I mean, like any beers, they get better with age. So the Chockmeister beers that I've had, they have done really well. These beers, I will do a review straight away tomorrow night when I'm bottling, just to, you know, get the initial get the initial taste of it, see how it goes, and then I will leave it to clear properly and see where it goes from there. And there we are. That's it, right down at the bottom. And as you can see, all this sediment stuff is left in the bottom. A little bit of liquid. There's going to be some, you know, you're never going to get it perfect. But, so, that's ready for sterilising. So, 1 spoon per litre of sugar. So, that's 17 litres, so quickly, 17 spoons. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Why am I doing it this way? Because every time I pour sugar straight into the bottles or into the barrel before, what normally happens is the sugar just stays at the bottom. It never really actually goes. This way, you're mixing it up with hot water, you're going to pour it into the brew, and I dare say it'll help it reach secondary fermentation a bit quicker. So already, don't need lots of water, you know, just a bit. I mean, you could add a bit more sugar if you wanted to see if you can get the alcohol content up a little bit more, you know, tweak it a little. Right, pour it into the beer. And we're now ready. There you go, I'll show you. So there it is. Looking good, looking lovely and dark as well. We're now ready for bottling tomorrow night. I'll leave it for a day, and just to let it sort itself out a bit. And give me a chance to wash out about 17 chuffing bottles and sterilise, then rinse them, because obviously cleanliness is godliness. And I prefer it. Oh dear. I prefer it in bottles, even if it's 2 litre bottles, you know, ex-pot bottles, because when it's in the barrel, once you crack that barrel open, unless you've got a full system, you know, a carbonation system going along, you've got 2 weeks, you know, to drink it, and it's not easy to drink 40 pints of one particular variety in 2 weeks. I've done it, but it's not easy, you know. You get to the stage where you hate the beer. This way, much better. Bottle it into 1 or 2 litre bottles, or even 500ml bottles if you've got them lying around, and much easier. Oh, that weighs some. So yeah, all ready for the capacity, 3/4 of a bottle, 32 pints. Can't wait. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.